Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Monday, September the 26th, and starting with the ASX here. So in a bit of a nutshell, we're looking at wave 1 and 2, and then down for 3, 4 and 5 here to make wave 1. Then an ABC pattern coming back up 50-60%. If it goes to about 6.2 here, then it'll come back to about 6.8 at that point. We can see that this area here is significant in that regard. But yeah, that's sort of where we are. So a little bit hard to read this on the intraday, but a little bit easier here. When you think of this as down for 1 and back for 2 here, and then 3, 4 and 5, that sort of looks all right, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the importance about this particular count is it ties it in with the US market, so that makes it, gives me a little bit more confidence to say in terms of how it should be counted, because I can see on the intraday basis that there can be, we should look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, but on the intraday basis we've got it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and we can count all of this in different ways. But I think that in a way, when we get wave 4 here and this wave 4 here, then it'll become apparent what this is here. I don't think we're going too far past this low here without a fight, without a kickback. So I think that we're going to see a series of wave 4s here. So not that good in terms of intraday trading, but for folks that are trading stocks on the short side, you can hold those and hold them through those series of wave 4s here, for example. That will be occurring with the banks if you're short on the banks. So let's just go in and have a bit of a look. So on the 4-hour chart, so this is how I think that it should be counted. Don't need these little dudes here, but we do need that wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then I'm thinking we need to look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1 and 2, and then we need to look at this a bit odd here, but this is where we need to tie it into the US markets of wave 3. Now if it comes back as wave 4 here, then it could also be a green wave 4. We'll have a look at that along the way, but it's not going to make much difference at this particular stage, because what we're actually looking for here is the 38.2% retracement level. So we'll just see how far that comes back up. I mean, this market's not really going to want to leave this 6,500, and I know you probably don't think it's important, but it does carry a bit of weight. And anyway, we're sort of on the old lows over here as well anyway, do you know what I mean? So you can see the importance of it. So it's going to be something like this, but I think we're going to have a couple of legs down here before it climbs up here and gives us a wave 2 in that regard, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so we can put those in here roughly. So 4 and 5, don't worry about where I actually put them, don't worry about the particular numbers that I look at here, but between 2 and 3 here we'll probably see that finish off, and then we'll see a an A wave and a B wave and a C wave back into here somewhere, so down again. So yeah, a little bit tricky shorting in this particular space here for folks, I imagine, but yes, we need to step a little bit lower, and we'll be stepping into group 1 down here, so that will be a good support. The 4 will be important, the 3 will be more important, and it's part of group 1 of that 6,000 there. Whoops a daisy, I just don't want that. I want to just drag this one there. So when we go further on the intraday, it's going to be a little bit trickier, but this is the pattern that we're looking for. So that wave 4 up there in three waves, and then down for wave 5, then back for wave 4, and then down for wave 5 here. That's pretty much it. Now there could be, if I've got this wrong, and I could have it wrong for the Australian markets, we may have another wave 4 in this mix here. That's the 4-hour chart. The 1-hour chart, looking at wave 1 and 2 here now, and then yeah, I'm just looking at this as well. It's a little bit of a dodgy count. I understand all of that, but I do need to tie it in. If I've made a mistake here, the mistake is not going to be that important just yet, because it would simply be that I don't, yeah, as I mentioned, I don't think this is, it may not get back all the way up there, you know, it might be somewhere back here at the 6. That's an important, there's a couple of important numbers here, the 6650 and the 600 here, those two there. But we're just looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then coming down again. So that's where that is. So it's, I think it's the blue wave 4, but when I count this, I can see a picture for this wave 4 here as well. If you have been short up here, then just, you know, we're going to be going lower. It's just that it's going to be a tough journey getting across all of this here, you know. That's the problem with this number. It'll be something like that. You know, it does give the opportunity to put in a short here and a short here, and, you know, don't worry about it too much. Or, you know, if you get out here, it just goes up here a little bit like this, and, you know, back to the 6650 and then fails again. It's kind of, you know, a bit tricky to work as well. So it's hard to get through wave 4s. You need to, you can't make decisions once you're in here. You must have your plan already sorted. 100 ticks. So yeah, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here for this, and then in this case I've got it as a green wave 4, but like I say, it's not going to be a great difference. And, you know, there's a lot of pressure on the markets at the moment, so I don't know how far it's going to rally back up. You know, I've got positions in US banks, and they'll be going through this wave 4 as well, so I won't be getting out at this point. I want to be adding across the top. That's my sort of thing I'll be doing there. But we talked about shorting here on the Friday, didn't we? You know. So yeah, just to let you know, I don't know if this wave 3 is blue and wave 3 here is blue, or which wave 4 we've got here. But I do know that we're at the 6.5, we're going to get an ABC, we're going to come down, we're going to get another ABC, we're going to come down. It's just going to take a while to get through it all, that's all. You know, it'll be something like this, but more it'll be something like this, but more sideways. You know, this is edging down. This will edge down as well, but it'll also be a bit more sticky to that number. Yeah, I think we're on 50 ticks as well. I haven't updated this though, so yeah, I knew we'd talk about shorting in here somewhere Friday, but having a look at this here. I mean, it could be as simple as the AB as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. I think that I know with Apple, and that is that we're still with Apple. We haven't just finished the first move up. Then we need the B wave, and then the C wave here. That's what we need for Apple. So that's how the US markets will play it. So the US markets could just be loitering, and this one here lingering around all day within here. And then still, you know, have a bit more upside to come, all said and done, you know. Okay, got to move along quickly. So the banks, or just CBA here really. I noticed Macquarie Bank really fell out of bed, had the same pattern here and dropped much lower in all of that. Let me just have a look at that here. Yeah, you see how it dropped down quite deeply here. So I can still see it's got further to come down. I mean, it'll take these lows out here for all of that. Yeah, so anyway, CBA's turn like we expected it to, you know, hitting this level here, or this space, and then moving down. So that's all good. You can bring your stop down from the top down to here now, because we don't want that breached. We need to be out of that point. But otherwise, a down bar with increasing volume. So we'll probably see, because it's on its old lows here and it's still in the box, it hasn't made the box, the 61.8% resistance yet. So we'll probably see a little bit of a rally and then continuing down, you know, that's where that will be. So just hang in there short. And over to the resources. First of all, I wanted to have a look at copper because it's important to BHP. I can see that it's taken this low out here. So that means that this move up here that looks like 5 waves is not 5 waves. So unless we're going into some, I mean, the pressure to be on more of wave 4 here is certainly on the cards. Okay, so as I mentioned on Friday or whatever it was, that this is starting to be, the wave 4 is becoming the dominant wave structure rather than wave 1 here now, you know. So in fact, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove that wave 1 and this wave 2 here, and we'll start to need to look at it in terms of some other particular pattern with wave 4 maybe in place here, because this looks like it just wants to come, it will come down 3, 4 and 5. It will come down to this point here at least. So counting 5 waves down here with wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So it's going to come down further. I'm just going to test these lows here. So I'm just going to remove these little ABC patterns here. And I'm going to remove these here. But just to let you know that this is weaker here, you know, and I think that we need to put this wave 4 in place over here. And then we need to look at this as some type of 1 and 2 at least here, and 3, 4, 5 to come down here further for this. So that's going to bring BHP down basically, you know, I mean, any copper stocks as such. So I just wanted to point that out. With the iron ore here, we looked at this whole move here coming up from the low can be an A wave up here, and then a B wave here, and then a C wave here, and 5 waves, because we've got 5 waves here now. So we can have a wave 4 here. So we need to see what comes next here. We need to see, this could also be counted up as wave 1, back for wave 2 here. So if, you know, we'll probably get some sort of little rally here. We're going to know very shortly. We'll just see if we get this, because if it takes that low out here, then because this support at 61.8%, this is support at 61.8%, we could probably count that as 5 waves down. We'll still need an ABC and down again here. So very shortly we'll know what this is as well here very shortly. Okay, so probably a wave 4 here in line with copper. Just took longer to unfold, but we don't know that yet. You know, I don't know. We can still go up here. So it's working itself. All of this pattern is working itself into a corner, and it will come out as either bullish or bearish, and we'll pick it up, but we just need to confirm that. BHP here, so we were looking for it to turn up and then turn down, so it's doing that on increased volume, so that's good. So we'll just leave that where it is. You could probably no, we're looking for a bit of a rally today, but we'll be careful. Just leave the stop there. We'll just see, because we may just get another little hike to come in and then down, but oh no, we should come down a bit further first. It's looking corrective anyway, so I think we're on the right track there. RIO, I think RIO can just fluff around in here for one more thing, but still needs to come down in this thing, but we still need iron ore to do that, you know. FMG, I think we talked about taking profit or taking percentage off the table at these numbers here, but the main trend is still down, I believe, but I need to prove that, and I can't prove it yet. And gold, so it's good to see GDX finally break that consolidation here. But I haven't really had any doubts about any of this, because we knew this was corrective. We knew this was 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. It couldn't be much else at that point. Looking at this as 1 and 2 here, and then 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, then the fourth, and then the fifth for the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So in a way, it's following the S&P 500. This is following stocks now, you know. So this is probably what US spot gold will do as well. But that's the pattern, and we're looking down here for this to complete down here for this. So US spot gold, so from this wave 4 top over here, right or wrong, I was looking at that as well. I'm just using GDX really to do this, to find this count really, because I know that I just don't trust that high, and do I trust this one? I mean, do I use this one rather than that one, and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, we've had this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2, so, or 4, that's right. But yeah, so this is coming down nicely here, so this will be, I don't know, there'll be some sort of 4, 5 in here, and then another 4 in here, and then down for 5 here, and the same as GDX really. So that's, you know, that's what gold is doing. It needs to come down further, and yeah. So anyway, further down for US spot gold. I didn't do our local gold here, so Newcrest here. So Newcrest is going to be doing the same things. It's just you know, it'll break through here today, so it's just finding that support on the 1650. So yeah, but we're picking the highs quite nicely, the turns, and you know, the pressure's always been to the downside, so we'll keep coming down for this. So that's where that is. So hold short or be short, all good. The US dollar is pushing up to, I knew it would go up to the 11,000, or this is a CFD product, so that's why it's to the power of 10. So one well, in this case 11.3, but otherwise 115. So it looks like it wants to hit the medium level here, and push higher. So I won't go into the, I'm a bit short on time today for the Aussie, so I'll do that, the intraday count on the commodities when I do that, or the euro video. But that means that the Australian dollar will need to look at this pretty much the same as the S&P 500 really, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then we're coming down here. Now with the S&P we could be looking at this wave 3 over here, so that's a possibility, so I'll give that a bit of consideration as well, but it won't matter in the meantime. We're still coming down, so we're going to have a wave 4 rally off the 65. The 65 is important, so I'll have a little ABC. It might sink a little bit further in here. I haven't counted this down here, but whatever happens, it's going to have a little rally, and then it's, you know, going to be coming down further at that point. So we can look at this as wave 3 down here for that, and then wave 4. So yeah, I'll just check on where that wave 3 is. So if you're short from any of this, I mean, you may want to get out, that's fine, but otherwise we can expect a rally to come back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree in here, at least somewhere in there. You can look for the 38.2% retracement level in terms of this particular high here down. I'll take it to the 65. That will leave us, well, a little bit higher here for that, so I'll just put a little zone thing in there for that, but that's where that is at that point. And I want to have a look at the lithium stocks, which I was going to do before, but just before we get to the lithium, we've got the yields here. They're going to be pushing up further at this point. I still need to do some work in here, but we'll be making a new high above here in due course. Like I said, I don't have any problems with this count. I just haven't pulled apart the internal count here. So we're going up to wave 3, 5 of 3, and then 4, and then 5. And then we're going to have a correction as an ABC pattern here. This is where they'll stop raising rates. So they'll raise rates up until the end of the year or whatever. Then they won't raise them, and that will bring the market back a bit in this case, you know, bring the yields back anyway. But as I mentioned before, from the low here, that's 5 waves up there. So that's going to correct in some sort of pattern. I don't know how far it'll come back yet. And then we're going to have another 5 waves up here. So I see these yields going up to 8 and 10% in this range here, but that's only 3 waves up. What scares the hell out of me is that what happens if this turns, it doesn't stop here and turns into 5 waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. I mean, that's going to put the world in a situation that was worse than 1982, you know. But I don't know that yet. But all I can say is that there's 5 waves here, so there's going to be another 5 over here. So, you know, yeah, that's pretty high rates, you know. Anyway, over to the lithium stocks, and pretty much on track here. So it's just starting with so this is a US, well, traded in the US. This is SQM and Chilean stock. And as I mentioned before with this, we just really wanted to, you know, I knew this is going to be correcting here. So this is what lithium stocks are doing. That's what happened in the US on Friday. This is another one traded in the US. So it's you know, it's going for the arrival, there'll be the reaction, there'll be the first high above the level, and then there'll be an ABC. So we'll catch it over here for this one, for the New York one. Then we go to the Australian one, so CXO here. Yeah, as I mentioned before, what we're looking at, I don't know if you got a keen eye, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here now. Now that could be the low for the first leg down. I'm not quite sure, but at the same time I don't care, because we still need the B wave coming up here, the B wave, and then the C wave coming down. So we'll be kind of interested over in this little area through here, and this will be the same for all of them. This is Line Town, so not a very nice 5-wave structure here, but yeah, it's just the first leg of the A wave here, then the B, and then the C for that, you know. So I don't have to really worry about any of these just yet. Pilbara here, we know that it's got the arrival here, there'll be some sort of reaction, first high above the level, yada yada yada. We want it over here for that, so there's a long time for that to get there. AKE settling in at the 15-16, so probably have to put some sort of top in there on that. I wonder if we're going to look at that as 1 and 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I probably have to do something weird like that, you know. Is that wave 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't. I'm not really happy about this either. I don't think that's the case. Is that the case? I don't know. Well, it's just a bit of an oddball, this one, but I'll just see how it corrects with these, how it corrects with the other ones, and then I'll be able to figure it out. But I wouldn't want to do anything in this one's holding up really well. There's an IGO here. I wonder if there's other stuff in that. And then there's Min here that's starting to correct back. So they're all doing what we kind of wanted them to do, you know. This one's down a lot, down a fair whack, but see, it's on lower volume than the previous bar. So this is probably quite a good little buy just here, but I don't know if that's the ABC tied up in there. Let's just have a bit of a look at that. That's a bit hard to read, so I'll just go into the 15 minutes. It's still a bit hard to read. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know we're close down here. It's gonna come back. Probably not a bad opportunity. You know, if you were going to go in this longer term, this is probably a nice little spot to pick a very small amount up, because we still probably need to go. There could be this to go. Yeah, I don't know. But then there'll be this, and then there'll be this, and this. You know, we could pick it up over here, but yeah. I kind of like this stock, but anyway, I'll let it mature because I'm not quite sure about it just yet. Alrighty, that's it, folks. I've got to get this video pinned up. Okay, cheers.